Here it is. Awesome. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Saturday yoga. Hopefully, y'all had a great week. And here we are, another Saturday, another flow. So for those taking this class later, helpful always to have your playlist handy on your phone, whatever you would like to listen to. If you're listening to the playlist I put together, another one, I'll tell you when to turn it on. Also helpful for class today at block per use. It's just helpful, especially particularly in the beginning of our warm-up to get into our muscles in a gentle way and access deeper spots in the body. And then a strap. So if you have a strap, awesome. If you do not, of course, a towel absolutely works, a stretchy band, anything you can move your foot around. And if you don't have a strap, honestly, no big deal. You can grab onto your yoga pants. They're stretchy. You can grab them anywhere on your leg, or your workout gear, or whatever you have that's handy. Even a bath towel will work. So grab what you need. Beauty of taking this class later is you can hit pause, you can grab what you need, and then you can rejoin us. So with that, let's get started. You're going to grab your strap and you're going to roll down. We're going to start on our backs today. So hit play on your playlist if you are listening and enjoying. And then I will meet you on your back. All right. Once you roll down, bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart. We're going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana, a reclining Baddha Konasana pose. With soles of the feet together, really feel the insoles pressing against each other. It's a nice conductive feeling, like you're almost creating a conductive bit of energy there between the feet. With the hips open wide, the closer your heels are to your seat, the more intense the hip opening, the looser and further away your heels are from your seat. Less intense on the hips. Also, option to prop up your knees with something like a block. You can always rest your thighs and your knees to make this opening a little more gentle and restorative. Have your strap nearby, handy within arm's reach, but you don't need it for the next few moments. Place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, or let your arms spread out wide. Take a moment to feel your back against the mat. Take a moment to close the eyes. Let the eyes feel heavy. Let the cheeks feel full and relaxed. Separate your upper and your lower teeth. Find a little bit of space in between the head, neck, and shoulders. So even if you're laying on your back, think of elevating the crown of the head. Make a few micro movements here that you need to ensure your spine is nice and long. And then tune your attention to your belly. Let your belly rise. Let it fall. Tune your attention to any other sounds in the room. It could be the music, sounds of nature or neighbors, the humming of appliances. And start to associate the sounds in your life with sounds of love. Sounds of a life you have built. A life you deserve to have. Even things we deem irritating sounds also mean that they have come from a place of love. Perhaps you have loud neighbors, but you love your home and your house. So loud neighbors are part of the concert of this life you have built. And start to let go as though you're dialing down the volume on outside noises, the distraction. And pick one sound you'd like to tune your attention to. It could be the music. It could even be the hum of an appliance. It doesn't matter. Just pick one. Let your attention focus just a little bit. And from there, bring your attention to your breath, going inwards. Become fascinated with the rise and fall of the belly. And give yourself the moment here to build an intention, set a sankalpa, perhaps. Perhaps your goal is simply to breathe throughout class. Long inhales, long exhales, linking movement to breath. Perhaps it's to enjoy the feeling of opening up the body, stretching, of sweating, of movement, celebrating that movement. Perhaps you're here for an entirely different reason. Understanding what motivates you will help you set a sankalpa or a goal class before your weekend. And then take that seed of intent, seal it into the heart space. Let's take a huge inhale in and a long exhale. Two more like that, feeding our intentions. Breathe in. Exhale. Last one, breathe it in. And exhale. Flutter the eyelids open. If the knees are still apart, pull them together. Use your palms if you'd like. And give yourself a couple of pelvic tilts up and then down, using the heels on your feet to help you with a little traction, driving those heels into the mat. Roll up to your lowest rib and then roll yourself down, letting it be this fluid, immediate motion. Let your tailbone tap and then let the lowest rib tap. Curling up and down to release the low spine. And then let's take the feet, walk them as wide as the mat, and then gently rock your knees side to side, releasing the low back after that big hip opener. Next time the knees fall over to the left, let them stay there. A loose twist here. Gaze over the right shoulder. Breathe into the side body. And then a little more movement as you exhale. Let those knees rock side to side again. Little huge exaggerated windshield wiper. Next time they fall over into the other direction, into the right, stay. Gaze over the left. Breathe in, and then as you exhale, come up onto your forearms as though you're hanging out at the beach. Option to take a block, especially if it's soft, and place it behind you or even a pillow so it would hit at your mid ribs, almost like where your sports bra would be. If you wear a sports bra, you can envision where one would go. Plant your feet down on the ground, reach for your thighs, grab the sides of your thighs, your elbows are wide, and hang here as you drop belly button to spine. Find a little bit of space in between your ears and your shoulders. So if you're hunched up, let those glide down. If the block is uncomfortable or you're feeling strong and you don't need it, remove the block and test yourself, holding onto your thighs here, still with your curl, belly button to spine. Stay here and breathe. And exhale. Breathe. And exhale. You have a little bit of space between your chin and your collarbones, like you're holding a peach. And then release that. Let the arms roll back. Breathe in. Exhale, hold on again. This time we're gonna pulse. So bring it up, up, up. Keep going. We lift, lift, lift. Keep pulling down belly button to that spine. You got it. Couple more pulses. Take both palms, hold on to the right leg, and we curl and pulse over to the right, right, right. Anchor down those heels. You've got it. Center. Then we bring both palms to the left and we pulse over to the left, 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 left. You've got it. Just a few more. I know it burns. I'm burning. Keep your head, neck, and shoulders lifted. Come center. Hold on for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Bring your knees into a tabletop position. With knees and ankles nice and stacked, you have this beautiful 90-degree. Tap down one toe, your right toe, then lift it up. Belly button to spine. Pretend I have a grape that I've slid underneath your low spine in your mat, and I'm asking you to crush that grape. So you're pushing the belly button to spine. You're pushing your low back into the mat as you tap one toe and lift, other toe and lift. Now both toes. If your back starts to pop off the mat, you go back to one at a time. Maybe you reach your arms high to the sky here. Really nice work. Keep at it. We add on. We lift our head, neck, and shoulders. We grab behind the thighs. And then we reach everything away and then pull it back in. So reach for a low boat, bring it back in. Reach for a low boat, bring it back in, belly button to spine. We are almost there. We are almost done with warming up our core. You've got it. 2 more. And then rest. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a wide circle, a massage for the low spine, for the hips, and then in the other direction. Nicely done. You're going to grab your strap. Sorry, my music is blurring from my phone, so I'm just making a little adjustment. You can stay on your back, grab your strap, loop it around the arch of your foot or the ball of your foot, whatever's more comfortable. You're going to start with your right leg high. Your left leg can be knee bent with foot on the mat or reaching long, whatever's comfortable. You're going to give yourself a nice little stretch here, bringing your foot towards your face. Your hands are slack on the outside edges of your strap. You can choke up on the strap if you would like, if that feels good this early in class, but be gentle. Give your knee a couple bend and extends, bending the knee in towards the chest, extending that leg long, knee in, and then reach it long. Knee bends and then reach it long. Flex your toes back towards your face. Keep on going with your bends and extends. And then find a moment here where your foot is high towards the sky. Your toes are pointing back towards your face. So you're flexing your foot. Bring your strap into your right palm. And then cross that leg over the body, over towards the left. IT band stretch. Whew. You can hold on to it with your left hand now. Take your right thumb, anchor it in your hip, and roll your hip down and away. Little manual adjustment. Yeah, this is not going to feel awesome. That's your IT band barking at you. And then switch, so the strap comes into your right hand. Open your leg out to the side. Half straddle here. Be gentle. Pull the knee and the leg up one more time. One little stretch. And then you're going to switch your feet. So bring your left foot into the strap. Right leg can be foot on the mat, knee bent, or extended nice and long. You're just going to stay here. Let the hips anchor down. Take your stretch. Bending your knees as much as you need. Anytime we're stretching with straight legs, even later in class, we'll be opening up the foot with a yogi toe lock forward and then out to the side. You can keep your knee bent the entire time. All right, like before, let's take those bends and extend. Knee in towards the chest. Straighten it out. Flex the toes back, so you're flexing your foot nice and deeply here, protecting the knee. Get all those little cricks and cracks out. Snap, crackle, pops. You can choke up on the strap if you like. You can keep it loose, whatever works best for you. Sometimes even if you could reach the foot here, your flexibility is really robust. The strap is just a nice little helpful tool, right? All right, and then with holding the strap with your right hand, pull your leg across the body to take your IT band stretch. Take your left thumb, anchor it down into your hip and roll your hip down and away. So you're keeping those square hips as you stretch that IT band, and then open it up to the side, half straddle. Oh, give those inner thighs a big stretch. Nicely done. You're going to lose the strap. You can place it at the top of your mat, grab behind your knees, give yourself a rock and roll until you have enough momentum to come up to a seated position. Easy Sukhasana pose here. You're seated, or you are taking soles of the feet together, knees apart, grab for the ankles, roll that chest up, nice and tall, bow, forward fold. Quick forward fold here in our Konasana to get into the hips, the glutes, and the low back. Just a little bit more. Roll on up. Keep your left foot forward in front of you. You're going to drape the shin across the mat like you're going to take a half pigeon. And then your right leg comes out into off the side of your mat. You are in a 90-90 position. So not quite a full pigeon yet, but getting there. Let your hips anchor down. It's usually this glute wants to lift up. So you can you like let it drop down towards the ground. Stay up here if you feel a huge stretch in your glutes. Take a bow if you need a little bit more. You come down onto forearms. You can use your block here. And then push yourself up, bring your hands in prayer. Can you tip your knees up towards the sky, keeping your spine super straight here? And then rolling yourself in your 90-90 towards the back of your mat. Obviously make adjustments if you need, and then take your bow on the other side. So a little bit of stretch, a little bit of mobility test. The hardest part with that transition is not curling the spine, keeping the spine open. Of course, we have to curl if our hips are tight, right? There's no shame in that. There's no shame in tightness. It means you move your body in a way that strengthens your hips, that strengthens the connecting muscles, and your hips probably need just a little more stretch. All right, push yourself up. Let's try that again. Hands into prayer. Trying to keep your back straight, and then move into your 90-90 on the other side. Take a bow. Let's bring some movement into this. Lift back up, hands in prayer. Take your 90-90 to the other side. If you're traveling off the mat, no big deal. I am traveling a little bit. We can break the rules, right? Our home practice. And then take your bow. We'll take one more on each side. Hands in prayer. Shift your hips. Yeah, nice work. Nice work. Take your bow. One more, hands in prayer. Take your bow. So nice. Next time you come up, less glamorous way, just find yourself back on your mat into your all fours position. Let's take our cat cow. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, push the mat away. Inhale, opening up the chest, maybe tucking the toes. It's that season where we're wearing slides or flip-flops or sandals. Our feet probably need a little bit of stretching. Next time you come into all fours, speaking of our feet and ankles and calves, reach your right leg long behind you, ball of the foot comes down, and then rock yourself backwards and forwards. Pull the belly button to spine while you're here, just so we get into that habit of constantly bracing our abdominals, strengthening our abdominals, and supporting our spine. Stay for a nice stretch here as you extend your heel behind you. Place your palms directly under your shoulders and then find your plank pose. Aha. Nice solid plank here. Fingertips pointing forward. Push the mat away. Pull the belly in. Drop the hips a smidge. And extend the heels long behind you. We are holding for 5, for 4, For 3, for 2, for 1, right knee down, come into that stretch. I had a request today. There's not many of you in class. You can deduce who requested this. Little calf stretch. But I was like, how do I make a calf stretch interesting? Oh, a plank. So careful what you wish for. Careful what you request. Sneaking planks in whenever I can. All right. Find that nice stretch. Really reach that, that ankle and that heel back behind you so you get the nice calf stretch here, a nice foot stretch. And then lift up that right knee, meet feet behind you. We find our plank pose. Push the mat away, pull belly button to spine. Now we rock both feet backwards and forwards, engaging that low core, engaging that belly, fingertips still pointing forward. Gaze is forward. Nice long spine here. Just 3 more, 3 rocks. And then we're going to come all the way down to our belly and take a little cobra flow. All right, find your stillness. Point your elbows behind you. Reverse chaturanga push-up as you come down. Inhale, baby cobra. Fingertips are light. Gaze is forward. Breathe in. Exhale, child's pose. Right away, the moment your hips hit your heels, pump up the back, come forward. Elbows bend behind you, come all the way down to your belly. Low baby cobra, roll those shoulders back, squeezing them behind you. Gaze is forward, fingertips are light. Push it back. Child's pose. Hips to heels, and then you pop up the back. You come forward. You find neutral with the spine, bending elbows. Come down. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, child's pose. 2 more like that. Find your speed. Find what feels delicious for you. Is there a spot you want to stay? Do you want to come forward and back in your cat-cows a little bit more? Do you want to roll up the spine, roll it out, shake it out? Find what feels good. Maybe some serratus push-ups in between while you're on all fours. Everything is welcome. Start to listen to your body. What little sticky spot do you need to spend a little bit of extra time in? 1 more round. Yogi's choice, how fast, how slow, where you're spending your time. And then we meet in a child's pose. Take your time getting there. Once you're in your child's pose, reach your arms over to the right. Take a side bend in your child's pose. Anchor down that left hip. Breathe in, fill up the back body, and then walk your palms over to the left. Side body stretch in your child's pose. Coming back through center, we find our first down dog. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, finding your upside down V shape. It's been a minute, right? So, fingertips pointing forward. Letting the bottom knuckles anchor down. Bend the knees, tip the tailbone high to the sky, press the chest towards the thighs. But if your ribs are really splaying out here, tiny tuck, pull the ribs in while pushing the mat away. The creases of the elbows are spiraling out. So if you can bend your elbows out to the side, then you need to straighten them out a little bit and think of the reverse. Think of spiraling the insides of your armpits and the insides of your elbows outwards. And then let your ears have a little bit of space. It's a lot, right? It's a lot to think about when you're down dog. Take one thing at a time, particularly when we're warming up. We have time to make all these micro adjustments. Then you worry about your heels extending to the ground as far down as they would like to go. Beautiful work, everyone. Lift your right leg high to the sky, down dog split. Bend the knee, open up the hip, feel that stretch. Lift the knee and ankle up a little bit higher and then push the heel behind you a little bit more. like you're gonna stop on something over to the left side of your mat that's hovering in the air. And then reach that leg high to the sky, squaring off those hips, pull the knee forward and through. Right heel and foot in between your palms, back knee down, Anjaneyasana. Here we come, lift up. Squeezing your thighs, come up to a nice 90-degree to start. Drop the tailbone and then reach everything forward as you open up the arms. Goal post those arms, elbow forward, palms back. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, stretch it forward. Inhale, squeeze in your thighs, reach everything up, drop tailbone. Exhale, let yourself open up. Stay here. Feels good, right? Breathe it in and breathe it out. Deep inhale in and exhale. Last one in your stretch. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Reaching for your block. If you have it, place it underneath your left palm and then reach your right arm behind you. Stay for a twist, or you can also use your strap here with a loop, reaching for your back foot to take a quad stretch. It's early in practice, so be kind with yourself with this stretch. All props are welcome here. No props are welcome here. Doesn't matter. All that matters is how this shape feels for you. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Last one. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Release that back foot. Rotate your arm forward. Start to walk your palms back behind you for your half Hanuma. Toes pointed towards the sky. Blocks still really helpful here. I don't have two blocks, so I also use a foam roller underneath my palms. So in your half Hanuma, toes are pointed up. You're scooting your hips back. Your chest stays open. If you would like to bow and curl your spine, you're welcome to. One more breath here. Nice and slow this first round, right? Rebend that front knee. Come into your low lunge. Place your palms in front of your toes. And then bring your right toes off the mat. Heel in, toes out. And then step your left foot forward for your Malasana squat at the top of your mat. First Malasana squat of practice, maybe a block underneath the seat. So you can drop your tailbone, find an elevated straight spine, and use your prayer pose with your elbows on the inside of your thighs, pushing your thighs out. Roll the shoulders back, gaze forward. Pull your belly in, breathe in. Breathe out. Another deep breath in, deep breath out. Last one. Breathe it in and exhale. Bring your palms down. Your toes are going to point forward. So lift your hips up so you can heel toe yourself nice and parallel and take a forward fold. For your forward fold, bring your weight into your heels and then your toes. Give yourself a little micro rocking here. A little bit of back and forwards. And then bending your right knee, start to lift up your right arm. So you take this standing twist or forward fold twist. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Bring that right arm down, then straighten out the right leg. Bend the left knee and the left arm comes high towards the sky, little twist. Let that go. Take your bow, maybe grabbing opposite elbows for ragdoll. You can wiggle side to side. Weight a little bit more in the heels now. Let that belly button pull up and in towards your spine, similar to the sensation of down dog. Shake the head, yes. Let all that tension go. And then walk your toe heels together. Bend your knees, seat low, chair pose, Utkatasana. Open up the chest, bring the seat low. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten the knees, push your palms back behind you into diver's pose. Like you're pushing really thick, heavy air. Pull belly button to spine. Maybe you come up onto the balls of the feet. Gaze forward. Rebend the knees, find your chair pose. Utkatasana, squeeze heels and knees together. Open up the chest, tiny tuck of the tailbone so your chest can open up a little bit more. Breathe it in. Exhale, push the air behind you, find your diver's pose. Stretch for the hamstring. And then try to keep those ankles together so you're not sickling the feet. One more, chair pose, Utkatasana. Breathe it in. And then exhale, bow. Come up halfway, half lift. Plant the palms, step it back, plank pose. Vinyasa of your choice. Maybe knees, chest, chin. Maybe you're ready for chaturanga into upward facing dog. You choose, yogis. We meet in down dog when you're ready. 5 breaths, inhaling in. And exhaling. Spread the fingertips wide. Push the knuckles into the mat. Pushing your chest towards your thighs. Yep. Bend your knees as much as you need to free up your back. Give your ears some space. Deep inhale in. And exhale. Nice work. Lift your left leg high to the sky. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Lift the knee higher towards the sky, and then push the heel towards the right side of the mat. Still anchoring off those shoulders so they're nice and square. And then straighten that left leg out. Hips become a little bit more square here. As you pull the knee and the foot forward, left foot in between your hands, back knee down. Anjaneyasana, here we come. Inhale, lift up. Squeezing inner thighs, coming up more towards a 90-degree position with the legs. And then exhale, elbows forward, stretch the hips forward, palms behind you. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Let's juice up those hips. Inhale, come up. Last one. Exhale, release, stay. Perhaps you want to interlace your palms this time. Perhaps you even want your arms just to dangle at your sides. Whatever feels good. Nice deep breath here in your Anjaneyasana stretch. Beautiful work. Bring an eye to your block and strap if you've got them before we get into our next stretch. ID those props if you need them, so start to come forward. Your block will come under your right palm if you want it. Your strap loops around your foot behind you if you want it to grab for the foot and take your quad stretch. I didn't say this on the other side, so shame on me, but if you would like, you can keep the knee squeezing in and make this all about the quad. By knee, I mean your front knee. If you'd like to tip onto the blade of the toe and the heel that's on the mat, so your left knee is pointing out to the side, that's cool too. That will give you a glute stretch. It kind of shifts the target zones here, but sometimes the quad stretch alone is very overwhelming. So stretch one thing at a time, whatever feels good. All right, release the foot very gently. Start to walk your palms back so you find your half Hanuman stretch. Toes high towards the sky, hips are square. You can stay up. Blocks are great here for that, or you can bow. Nice deep bow here. Take your time with your hamstring. And then rebend the front knee, come forward, walk your foot off the mat a bit here to prepare for your Malasana, toes out, heels in, step your right foot forward, Malasana, here we are. Push the inner thighs out, drop the hips, elevate the crown of the head so you have a nice long spine. Breathe it in, inhaling in, and exhale. There's a very gusty wind happening outside. That's kind of amazing, this energy coming from. It feels stormy, but it's still sunny out. Very cool. Very cool weather happening outside the door here. All right. From here, you drop your palms. You lift your hips. Your toes and heels point forward. Take a stretch. This time, 2 peace fingers, yogi toe lock around the big toes. Your feet can be hip width distance apart here. If you would like, let your elbows wing out to the side, shake your head yes. Or release that neck, release your jaw. Let yourself bow. Breathing in and breathing out. Release your yogi toe lock, bring toes and heels together. Chair pose, Utkatasana, seat low, arms high. Stay here for a breath. Releasing that. 2 more. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Tiny tuck of the tailbone if you have too much cow spine there. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Find your diver's pose, pushing the air behind you. Try to keep your heels connected, your ankles connected as you come forward into your L shape. And now flow it out as fast as you would like. The faster you go, the more cardio you will get by engaging these huge muscle groups with your quads, with your glutes. Mindful of your ankles. A little bit of a strengthening exercise here for the ankles, but be careful. Move slowly so you don't tweak any ankles. For those who plan on using your feet tomorrow in a race, I know one of you are. One of you will be racing. All right. We have just another breath here. Wrap up what you're doing. And then bend your knees, plant your palms, step or hop back to your chaturanga, upward facing dog. We meet in down dog. Nice work, everyone. Breathe it in and breathe it out. We're going to take that one more time, that series, but we're really going to flow through it, one breath to one movement. So you have the blueprint, and then we will be adding on. So this will go pretty fast. Reach your right leg high to the sky, bend the knee, open up the hip, stretch. Then straighten off those hips. One breath in here, inhale in. Exhale, pull the knee and the foot forward. Back knee down, inhale, we rise, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the palms, take your quad stretch or stay for just a reach back here for more of a twist. Pull the foot in towards the thigh, and then release that, planting your palms forward. Step forward for your Malasana squat, breathe it in, and breathe it out. Hips up, heel toe, your feet parallel. We bow for a moment here, forward fold, breathe it in, and breathe it out. Come up to a flat back, bring the seat low, chair pose, Utkatasana, breathe it in. Exhale, push everything behind you, find your diver's pose. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, like you're pushing the air behind you away, finding your heels nice and high. Take your flow. After your third one, you bend your knees, you plant your palms. Perhaps you jump it back into your chaturanga, or you step back into your plank and you find your vinyasa of choice. We go right away. Once you hit down dog, lift the left leg high to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Square everything off, breathe it in. Exhale, pull the knee and the foot forward in between your palms. Back knee down, inhale, we rise, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the palm, the right palm down, left palm behind you for a twist or a stretch. Stay for one breath here. This is a really difficult pose to rip through on one breath, as we know. Release the foot, palms forward, step your right foot towards your Malasana squat. Your seat comes down, your spine stays long. Breathe it in. Breathe it out, hips high, forward fold. Take a beat here. Let the head, neck, shoulders curl in here as you bow. And then find your chair pose, Utkatasana. Breathe it in. Exhale, diver's pose. Inhale, open up. Exhale for your divers. Inhale, open up. Exhale for your divers. Next chair pose, you stay there, breathe it in, and then take your bow. Come to a flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, step it back or jump it back to your chaturanga, landing with bent elbows, upward facing dog. Child's pose or downward facing dog, you choose. Take your rest. Down, regulate that heart rate. Breathing in and breathing out. Find your home base here. Old familiar down dog. Beautiful work. On your next breath, find some stillness in your down dog. Ripple yourself forward to your plank pose and let the heels fall over to the left as your left palm anchors down and right arm comes up for side plank Vashisthasana. Option to reach your right arm overhead. Take a side bend with this. Option to reach your right leg high to the sky for a bonus. Keep moving the right hip forward. The tendency is to kind of open up towards the sky. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice work. Palm down, we find plank pose. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Other side, heels. Reach over to the right side of the mat. And then your right palm anchors down, your left arm high towards the sky. Option, reach your top arm overhead. Option, lift up your left leg. Roll that hip forward. And then we meet in plank pose. Nice work. Take vinyasa. Wash that out. Stretch the chest. Stretch the belly. We meet in down dog. Nice work, everyone. Ooh. All right. Take a nice deep inhale in. The longest exhale ever. Perhaps you flutter the lips. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Let it go. 2 more like that. Breathe it in. Flutter the lips. Exhale. Maybe you're sighing it out. Last one. Breathe it in. Make some noise. Release. So good. Reach that right leg high to the sky. We're coming for a high lunge. So pull that knee forward. Foot in between your palms. Micro bend in the back leg. Inhale, we lift up, high lunge. Micro bend, great for back stuff. You need a little slack. You can keep that leg nice and straight if you would like. But back stuff, take that micro bend. It feels good. Helps you drop your tailbone. Open it up, warrior 2. Take a look at your feet. Is your front foot slicing all the way through the middle of your foot back behind you, the arch of your foot? Take a look at your hips. Are they even? Sometimes I like to even place my palms on my hips to see if my hips are even here. Then drop the tailbone, pull the belly in, reach the arms nice and long. Bend, strong bend in the front knee. Knee is tracking over the second toe. Some brilliant basics that serve us so well each time we practice. Running through that checklist from the ground up. Tip it back, peaceful warrior. Stretch that side body. And then straighten that front leg so you come in up into a reverse triangle, deepening that side body stretch. Rebend your front knee so you come into your extended side angle, right elbow on right knee. Back foot is sealed down. Your glutes and your tailbone are directly underneath your body. And then reach the top arm overhead. If your shoulder is kind of choking off your ears, slide that shoulder back as though you're popping it into a magnetic spot, like 2 magnets kind of coming together. You're rolling your chest up towards the sky. You're pulling your belly in. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe it in. Keep bending that knee over your second toe, just like your warrior 2. Last breath here. And exhale. Gaze towards the top of your mat. You're going into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Perhaps palm comes to a block at the front of your mat. And then you start to open up the chest, lift the left leg high to the sky. Flex that foot that's in the air, and then roll your left palm up towards the sky. You fall out, no big deal. Come back in. Sometimes you need to fall out to figure it out, right? First round here, yogi's choice. Perhaps you float your fingertips. Perhaps you play with your balance. Micro bend in the standing leg just to protect the joint. One more breath here. Beautiful, yes. Plant both palms down, square off your chest, standing split, left leg high towards the sky. Make it small or make it big, whatever feels good. First round here, walk your palms back towards your foot, or even taking your right palm behind the shin. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Deep inhale in and exhale. You've got to start to bend both knees. Right foot, right knee stays forward. Back leg tucks knee to knee behind each other as you bring your seat down, finding a twist. Aha, one of my favorite transitions. Right leg on top. You're just in your seated twist here. Right palm behind you, twist over towards the left. Gaze behind the right shoulder. Gaze behind towards the back of your mat. Nice work, guys. How good does this feel after that standing split? Yep. I know. All right, counter twist that out. Quick figure 4 here, because we're nearly here. Plant your palms back behind you, fingertips planting forward, and then open up those legs to find a little transition of a figure 4. Nice work. Open up the chest here. Knee comes out to the side. Well done. Nice work. Release that. Both feet come down. You knew something sneaky was going to happen if we're coming down to the ground. Bring your toes up. Find your boat pose or your high boat pose. Option here to grab yogi toe lock. Option to straighten your legs. If this is not working for you, you stay here, grabbing behind the thighs, rolling the shoulders open, finding a balance. If you came for the yogi toe lock party, you play. You play with straightening out your legs. You play with rolling your shoulders back. If you want more play, you open up the legs wide and twist rattle, and then you bring them back together. Nice work, yogis. Find your choices. And then re-bend your knees. Find that placement of the palms underneath the thighs. Open up the shoulders. Nice work. Perhaps you cross at the ankles here, bringing your palms forward and jumping back into your chaturanga or step back into plank. We'll revisit that one more time. One more chance to get that little transition right. Find your down dog. Whew. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Take a breath in. Long exhale out. Nice work, yogis. Bring that left leg high to the sky, bend the knee. Open up the hip. Take a stretch. Squaring off that leg, pull the knee forward towards your chest. Your left foot comes in between your palms. High lunge, here we come. Micro bend in the back leg. Square hips, arms reach high towards the sky. Bend the front knee a lot. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Nice deep inhale in. And exhale. Last one, breathe it in. And on your exhale, you open it up. Our old familiar friend, warrior 2. We start from the ground up. Take a look at your feet. Is your heel intersecting the arch of your foot back behind you as though you're drawing a line from heel to arch? Are you bending your front knee deeply? Sealing the back blade of the foot down. Then find those hips. Do you need to adjust them at all, right? So they're nice and square and even, as though you have a little shelf attached to your hips. And there's a beverage of your choice balancing on that shelf. You don't want to spill it. You don't want to tip it forward, right? And then reach those arms nice and long. Pull the belly button in, drop the tail, gaze forward. And then just because we've done so much work, we've probably forgotten to deeply bend our front knee. We probably come up like this, right? So we come back down. We find that strength. Keep it strong. Breathe it in. And breathe it back out. Tip it back, peaceful warrior. Take your stretch. Oh, and then straighten that front leg. So you deepen your side body stretch. Bring the arms forward, rebend the front knee, take your extended side angle. So our legs barely moved here from warrior two into our extended side angle. Put our left elbows on our left knee now. We have the opportunity to tuck our tailbone and pull our belly in and rotate our chest high towards the sky, reaching our arm forward. And if you're kind of squishing your bicep to your face, can you plug the shoulder back in? Breathe it in and breathe it out. Rebend that front knee a little bit more, get a little bit deeper, yes. And then gaze down. Do you want your block as you come forward into your half moon pose? Your foot is right underneath your hips. Your left palm is down about 2 feet in front of you. Bring the weight into your heel of your standing leg, micro bend. Then open up those hips. Lift that right leg a little bit higher, like we would in Vashisthasana. And then reach that right palm high towards the sky. Option, if you did so on the other side, you play with lifting up your left palm. Play with the weight that you have in that left palm. You can always bring your palm towards your heart and stay. Balance challenge. One more breath, you've got it. Square off those hips as you bring both palms down to the ground, standing split. This can be a little, can be like a supported warrior three. It can be a much bigger standing split. Do what feels good for your body. Let your head, neck, and shoulders release. Perhaps you bring your left palm back behind your left calf. One more breath here, you've got it. Bending both knees, we start to tuck our right knee behind the standing leg. And then you bring your seat down. Aha. Ooh, nice little reward here. Anchor your left palm behind you, right arm up, and then take your twist. Gazing behind you, breathe it in. Breathe it out. Super tall spine here from seat all the way through crown of the head. And a nice deep twist. Breathing in. Breathing it out. Counter twist, gaze over towards the other side. And then figure four, plant your palms behind you, placing that right foot down onto the mat. Open up the chest a bit here as you flex your foot. Take your stretch here in the glutes. Breathe it in and breathe it out. One more chance for yogi toe lock in our boat. So bring your legs nice and forward, point those toes into your reverse tabletop position with your legs here. Palms behind the thighs, open up the chest. This is amazing work. Stay here if you would like. Options. You are taking suitcases where you go low boat to high boat, low boat to high boat. If you would like to play with yogi toe lock, you are taking your yogi toe lock and extending your feet in front of you, nice, straight and tall, and plugging the shoulders back behind you. Nice long spine, or you're opening up into a straddle. Or you're taking a little mix of all three suitcases into one opening. Woo! And if you fall out, you figure it out. The momentum when you're taking the mix is hard. Right? Because we've got to balance momentum with strength and stability. We've got to down regulate pretty quickly to get into the balancing challenge. So nice. Wrap up what you're doing in 3, in 2, and 1. Maybe you cross those ankles, flip them underneath your seat, jump back into your chaturanga. Woo! Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. A little bit of spiciness in between those flows. I know. Down regulate in your down dog. Beautiful work. Beautiful breathing. Take an inhale in. And a nice exhale. Cool. We are almost there, yogis. One more module on each side, but I promise it's fast. It's a truncated version. It's slightly different. Similar blueprint. We're just adding some flourishes. So close your eyes, take a huge breath in. Take a long exhale out. I promise this last round will be fun. Lift your right leg high to the sky. Pull that knee in towards your chest. Step it forward in between your palms. High lunge. Here we go. Breathe it in. Right away, open it up. Warrior two. Breathe it out. Extended side angle. Reaching top arm overhead. Stretch it out. Breathe here. And exhale. Half moon. Right palm down. Micro bend in the standing leg. Left leg reaches high to the sky. Flex that foot. Option for Triposana. You bend the knee, you grab for the foot. You open up the chest and you kick foot into hand, hand into foot. Reminder of that micro bend in the standing leg. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Nice work. Breathing in. And breathing out. Bring the knee forward with you. Step down. And then we rise up. We're going to work on some standing balances with our left leg. Whew. Nice work. Down regulate. Let your heart rate adjust and your blood pressure. Lift up this left knee. Pull it in towards your chest. Cup your knee for a little balance here. Roll the ankle if it feels good. And you're going to take your two peace fingers, your yogi toe lock with your left palm. And you're going to bring your right palm towards your hip. And you're going to stay here, working on a nice, tall, straight spine. If this feels good, you start to play with extending the leg out, like those bend and extends we did at the beginning of class. And then if it still continues to feel good and you can straighten your leg out, pop that shoulder back in, drop the tailbone, and open up the chest. Stay here. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Option, you can open it out to the side. A little Utthita Hastasana. You can bring it back in, bend the knee, stand it down, inhale, reach up, take a breath, and then bring your hands in prayer at your center of your chest. Whew. Let that go. Rock your head side to side, shake it out. All right, other side. You know what? Let's leave it. Actually, we're going to change this on the fly. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, take a bow. Inhale, come to a flat back. Exhale, cleanse the palms, step it back. You choose last vinyasa. Can you believe it? We have made it. We'll meet in down dog. All right, bend the knees, tip the tailbone high to the sky, shake it out. And then find your stillness for a moment as you take a huge breath in. And a long breath out. Reach that right leg high to the sky. Pull the knee in towards your chest and your right foot plants in between your palms. High lunge, lift it up. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Wait, did I do this? I did the same sides. We're supposed to be left foot forward. Oh my God, 5 weeks off. This is what happens. Sorry, yogi. So let's come back to down dog. And if you did it right, congratulations. Your left leg comes high to the sky, down dog split. Left leg forward, inhale, we lift up, high lunge, exhale, warrior two. Stay for a moment in your warrior two. Exhale, take it back, peaceful warrior. And then we bring it forward into our extended side angle. Wow, we all get rusty sometimes, I guess, right? Extended side angle, deep bend in the front knee. Chest is barreling up towards the sky. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Gaze forward because you're tracking that way. You're going that way. Left palm down, right arm up. Lift that right heel a little bit higher. Pull the belly button in. Micro bend in the standing leg. If you took Triposana on the other side, try it here. Bending the knee, opening up the hip. Stay for a breath, kick hands, hand into heel, heel into hand to help open up that chest. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Release the foot very gently. Palm comes down to the ground. Step your foot down as well. And we roll up to a standing position. Mountain pose, top of the mat. All right, anchor your weight into your left foot. Your right knee comes into your chest. Squeeze it, give it some love, maybe roll that ankle while you've got it. So you're going to take your 2 peace fingers for yogi toe lock, wrap it around your big toe. Your left palm comes to your hip, and you stay here perhaps, just grabbing yogi toe lock, strengthening the back muscles, strengthening the posterior chain, or you're playing with extending the leg out a little bit or a lot. Once you have it, plug the shoulder back in, lengthen out that spine, stay for a breath, for 2 breaths, for 3. Option to open the leg out to the side for side variation. Nice work. Bringing it back forward, step the foot down. Woo. Inhale, lift up those arms, wash it out. Exhale, we bow. Option, because I already said we did our last vinyasa. You are welcome to vinyasa this out, or we meet in downward facing dog. You choose, yogis. We'll meet in down dog when you are done. We are ultimately going to come to our seat and wind this down. So if you would like to play with jump throughs, if you would like to play with any other variation to get to your seat, you are welcome. I'm going to do it the old school way. Coming onto all fours, bringing my seat down. And we're going to take a forward fold once we get there. So extend your legs nice and long. If you have back stuff, so helpful to sit up on something. If you have no props, no big deal. Roll the back of your mat up so it's nice and thick and sit on the roll. If you've got a pillow nearby, a decorative pillow or a blanket, sit on the edge of that blanket so that your hips tip forward. Feet are hips width distance apart. You reach your arms up high towards the sky. Breathe it in and then hinge forward. And then you let yourself curl as you forward fold. Take your time here. You can use your breath to come up, to flatten the spine, and then to gently let yourself lower further and further. Just another breath here. Breathing in and breathing out. Roll yourself up. If you've got a pillow or a prop underneath you, just slide it out of the way. Palms behind you, feet to the mat, knees bend, reverse tabletop. Lift those hips up and the gaze behind you. If it feels comfortable for the neck, you can release it behind you. And then bring that seat down. Walk your feet a little bit towards your seat. It's halfway down the mat and let yourself come down to the ground. One bridge here. Fingertips graze the backs of your heels. Lift those hips up. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you as you clasp your hands underneath you. Heel of the hand is touching. Drive your forearms, drive your biceps and your arms into the ground. Drive your heels into the ground. And think of the inner thighs squeezing together as you lift those hips up in your bridge. Breathe, inhaling in and exhaling. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Deep breath in, long breath out. Separate those palms. Let your spine come down, upper, middle, then low spine. Cup the knees, give yourself a wide drive. One direction and then the other. A little massage all around the back of those hips. Nice work. Let's take a gentle twist with knees in towards your chest. Let them fall over to the right side. Open up the arms, then gaze over the left shoulder. you'd like to deepen this twist by taking an eagle legs, you are welcome. If you'd like to make this a little more gentle, you can place a pillow or a blanket or a block in between the knees. That will help give your SI joint in your back a little bit of space, a little bit of structure. Closing the eyes. Then bring those knees up towards the sky. You can bring your prop with you if you've got it and let them fall over to the other side. Nice and easy. Gazing over the right shoulder this time. Let the eyes close. Bring the knees up towards the sky. One closing pose of yogi's choice can be a happy baby. It's a great way to close class after all that hip stretching and opening we did. To continue with that, you can take a butterfly shape with soles of the feet together, knees apart, grabbing for ankles, lengthening out the spine on the mat. Or maybe you'd like to take a figure four or a shoelace pose on your back. We call this shoelace in yin, but it's really stacked knees. Right knee over left, separate your shins, grabbing for opposite feet, the blades of the feet, let the elbows drop. A deep glute stretch. You're taking a pose that requires both sides. Take 3 breaths and then switch. We all get tight in different places, so it's nice at the end of your practice to listen to your body. Where do you need a little more stretch? Maybe it's your hamstrings and you want to take your strap, like we did at the very opening of class, and loop your strap around the foot, stretching your hammies. So many options here to give you that one last moment. What your body craves. Wrap up what you were doing. As long as you feel you've gotten an even stretch on both sides. Tuck yourself into either a loose ball if you have back stuff, or a tight ball to give yourself a squeeze if that's accessible. And then let yourself go for your final rest. In your home practice, it may be nice to take the legs up the wall or legs up a chair, up a couch. You have props. You can slide whatever you would like underneath the thighs and knees to elevate your legs a little bit. You can take your classic Shavasana. You choose. What feels nice for your body right now? Where can you let go and let the rest wash over you? Beauty of corpse pose is that it signifies a separation, a transition. So whatever just happened on that mat no longer matters. The attachment to what happened on the mat no longer matters. Yes, your body built muscle memory. You stretched, you sweat, you breathed. Those things do matter. But the attachment to what the shapes looked like, you felt, what they even felt like, the judgment we attached to them, none of that matters. So let your final resting pose, your variation of corpse pose, let yourself detach from the outcome, detach from the feelings we assign, knowing that what you did was perfect, it was enough, and we move on. As you spend a few moments in your final pose here, I will leave you with one thought before we have some silence to enjoy. Is that those who are deemed most at peace in life are not necessarily obsessed with happiness, but they have the ability to avoid pessimism. They have the ability to detach from judgment. So the pursuit of endless happiness is a fine one. But don't forget about the pursuit of neutrality, of being able to pause when we react, being able to pause the immediate reaction to assign judgment. Before you even move, become aware of the body on the mat. Become aware of your breath. Fill up the belly with your breath, breathing in, letting the chest expand, and breathe out. Finding that space in between your eyebrows. Spend a moment just breathing here. Bringing in energetic awareness to the Chittakash, the space the ancient yogis thought was our entrance into our mind. Chittakash, mind space. Perhaps you peek inside the mind. Just acknowledge with detachment if you see thoughts, shapes, colors. Acknowledge them and let them go. Then letting that practice go as you inhale, start to bring some small movements into the body. Maybe you bring your chin towards your shoulder, let your head rock side to side, interlacing palms, reaching overhead. Take a wiggle. And then slowly rolling over onto your side. Take a pause and then push yourself up to a seated position. Anything that's comfortable. Palms down on the knees if you were craving a little grounding. Palms lift up if you were ready to seize a little more energy and inspiration. Give your head some space here. Roll the shoulders up to your ears and let them glide back down just to ensure that you've got all the space you need. Remember that reason you stepped on the mat. Recall that seed of intent we crafted 75 minutes ago. Maybe it's shifted, maybe it's changed. The essence of it may still be there. Give it a little acknowledgement. Breathe it in. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. It was an honor and pleasure flowing with you. Have the best weekend. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Hope to see you soon. Thanks for dealing with my almost did the same side twice in that flow. So thanks for playing anyways. Appreciate it. Have an awesome day.
You too. Thank you guys. Bye. Thank you, Steph.
Thank you.